Were hunter-gatherers actually happier than us? We often think of hunter-gatherers as struggling for survival, constantly searching for food, fighting off wild animals, and living short, brutal lives. But what if their lifestyle was actually healthier, more balanced, and even happier than ours? Let's break it down in a way that makes history fun, critical, and easy to understand. 1. The real story of human evolution. Are we still hunter-gatherers at heart? For 99% of human history, we were hunter-gatherers. Only in the last 10,000 years did we start farming. And in the last 200 years, we moved into cities and offices. But our brains are still wired for the old way of life, which explains why we struggle with modern stress, crave junk food, and feel lonely despite living in big cities. Why do we love junk food? In ancient times, food was scarce, so humans evolved to crave high-calorie foods, sugar, fat, carbs. Back then, if you found a tree full of ripe fruit, you had to eat as much as possible before other animals took it. Today, we still binge on sweets and fast food. Even though food is always available, our DNA still thinks we're in the wilderness. Why do we feel lonely in a world of 8 billion people? Hunter-gatherers lived in small, close-knit communities. Everyone knew each other. Now, we interact with thousands of people online but lack deep, personal connections. Result: anxiety, depression, and a sense of isolation, even in the most connected era in history. Our instincts are designed for a world without supermarkets, emails, and social media, which is why modern life often feels unnatural. 2. Were hunter-gatherers happier than us? Surprisingly, many experts believe hunter-gatherers had a better work-life balance than modern people. They worked less than us. A typical hunter-gatherer spent only 15 to 20 hours per week finding food. The rest of the time, socializing, playing, resting, and storytelling. Compare that to modern workers spending 40 hours per week in stressful jobs. They had a healthier diet. No processed food, no obesity, no diabetes. They ate a wide variety of natural foods: berries, nuts, roots, meat. Meanwhile, ancient farmers ate mostly one crop: rice, wheat, or potatoes, leading to malnutrition. They had fewer diseases. Many modern diseases, smallpox, measles, tuberculosis, came from farm animals. Hunter-gatherers only domesticated dogs, so they avoided many deadly infections. They lived in small groups, so diseases couldn't spread as easily. Hunter-gatherers worked less, ate better, and avoided many of the diseases that agriculture and urban life introduced. 3. Did ancient humans have marriage problems too? Was monogamy, one lifelong partner, always the natural way? Not really. Early humans may have lived in communal societies where resources and sometimes partners were shared. Some tribes believed children had multiple fathers, so every man in the community helped raise them. This reduced jealousy and increased cooperation, but not all groups followed this model. Some scientists argue that modern divorce rates, infidelity, and relationship struggles come from trying to force humans into rigid family structures that might not match our natural instincts. Ancient humans had many different ways of forming relationships, not just the nuclear family model we see today. 4. Did hunter-gatherers fight wars? Some people imagine early humans as peaceful hippies living in harmony with nature. Others think they were constantly at war, which is true. Both. Evidence suggests that some groups were peaceful and cooperative, while others were violent. Archaeologists have found mass graves and skeletons with spear wounds, proving that conflicts happened. But unlike modern wars, Ancient battles were small-scale and personal, not large organized wars. Human nature isn't purely peaceful or violent. It depends on the situation. Some hunter-gatherers lived in harmony, others fought over resources. 5. What did hunter-gatherers believe in? Before major religions, ancient people likely followed animism, the belief that everything in nature, animals, rivers, rocks, has a spirit. A hunter might talk to the deer he was about to kill, asking for its spirit's blessing. A sick person might ask a local tree or river for healing. There were no temples, priests, or holy books. Spirituality was a direct, personal experience. Religion likely started as a way to connect with nature and explain the unknown, long before gods and organized faiths. 6. The first humans and dogs team up. One of the biggest evolutionary friendships happened between humans and dogs, and it started before agriculture. 15,000 years ago, humans tamed wild wolves. Dogs helped with hunting, guarding, and companionship. In return, humans fed and protected them. Over thousands of years, humans and dogs evolved to understand each other's emotions better than any other species. The dog-human bond is one of the oldest and strongest relationships in history, older than farming, writing, or cities. Final thought. Are we living against our nature? Modern life brings longer lifespans, medicine, and technology, but also stress, loneliness, and diseases that hunter-gatherers never faced. So, what can we learn from the past? Spend more time in nature, because our brains still crave it. Eat real, natural food, because our bodies weren't built for processed junk. Build stronger social connections, because deep friendships are more valuable than thousands of online followers. The big lesson. If modern life feels stressful, it's not you, it's evolution. Maybe happiness isn't about progress, but about balancing the best parts of the past and the present.